Yo, what is going on, man? We are back for another episode, and we're finally in the playoffs with the Steagles podcast, man. It's time. We're here. All the shit talking that we did all year, all the speculation that we had of what our team was going to do, and it's time to, go big or go home. We got a lot of games for this wild card weekend, a lot of great matchups. But you guys know what time it is, man. It's the Steagles podcast where we talk
all Steelers,
all Eagles,
all NFL.
All NFL. Let's get to it, man.
Let's get it.
All right, so before we get into our wild card weekend,
congrats. Making it into the real season. The Steelers, sorry, they didn't deserve it, but still they made it. So, if your team didn't make it, y'all trash. Officially trash.
Officially
trash. Because even a lot of these teams that are in the playoffs are trash, and we're about to see it. And we're about to find out who is the trash, dirt, and below.
Facts.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. You gotta get that energy out. All right, so. Let's go. I'm gonna go over the scores of the last week real quick. Nothing crazy. A lot of these games did not mean anything, but it's good to have as momentum going into the playoffs. So one of the games that happened over the weekend was the Steelers Ravens. You guys came out on top. Lamar did not play. A lot of starters didn't play for the Ravens, but the Steelers came out on top, which is huge. They still got the win. They beat them twice this season, which is a big deal. And then now. Excuse me. You guys also lost your best defensive player in this game, which I thought was, kind of sucked. You guys got into the playoffs, but you lost probably the best player on the team, which is devastating. Now that you're going versus the Bills, you could definitely have used Watt. So how'd you feel about that game? You won, but you lost a player.
Right. So, first of all, like I said, I don't think the Steelers deserve to be a playoff team. The record really doesn't tell the story of this season. Super disappointing. Pretty decent talent, but not executing and playing to their level. Coaching, super suspect throughout the season. Regardless of that, they made the playoffs, so that's great. They needed to beat the Ravens in order to have a chance to make it to the playoffs. Once again, they put themselves in that situation of needing to win and then having to needing some other teams to lose and stuff like that. We know that's depressing and embarrassing that you have to be in that situation. But anyways, they win the game, and like you said, we beat them twice this season, which is like we are in suspect for the Ravens, who are supposed to be one of the best teams. So but anyways, the important thing is that they beat them, and then everything that needed to happen happened. With the Colts losing or whatever, it doesn't matter because now it's irrelevant. But the thing is that we lost our best player and one of the best players that we have seen. Definitely one of the best players in the league.
Uniform, yeah.
And it's a devastating loss because every game he will make plays, not just one play, but he's gonna make winning plays.
Correct.
Every game he's gonna make multiple throughout the game. It's impressive. We've seen it. Everybody agrees that he's a difference maker. Yeah. He's a difference maker. And a lot of games, we work. He kept us in the game, even though he's just a defensive player. He kept us in the game by stopping the defense and giving us more opportunities. And then at the end, he will finish games as well. So I don't think that we can recover from this. But it's like a miracle that the Steelers are in this playoffs. So. I really didn't have any hope before Watt went down, so things are not gonna change.
Yeah,
it's just it's gonna be a time for other players to step up.
So again, you guys won, which is the biggest thing here, but you lost a player, so now we have to see what this is gonna look like versus the Bills, which might not look very good. But we'll get into that game coming up here on the wild card weekend. The next game that, basically started the playoffs, it was a regular season game, but it had playoff implications, was the Texans-Colts game. The Texans came out on top, and the Texans ended up winning the division because they won this game.
Right.
Because the Jaguars ended up losing, which was, I was not expecting that. But, hey, Texans, I applaud you for a hell of a season. You guys got a great quarterback, did your thing in the draft. And, you guys are definitely moving in the right direction. That's all I can say for a team who sucked a lot. And now you're having some success.
You made it.
That's very pleasing to see because that organization can definitely use that.
Yeah, the Texans, we said it throughout the season. First year quarterback, first year head coach. They totally changed that franchise.
Yeah.
So and they're still here. With the Jaguars, super disappointing. I would hate to be a Jaguars fan because you had that division won, and you had the everything was pointing to you to get that division and to maybe make some noise in the playoffs, and completely fell off. Completely fell off. So Jaguars. By the way, the Jaguars beat the Steelers. But you still then don't even make the playoffs. Trash.
That is trash for sure.
Trash.
They literally just gave up that lead they had on the division.
Trash.
Horrible.
Completely trash. So then, the Texans end up winning the division, and then the Colts. By the way, Jaguars, Texans, Colts. They all beat the Steelers. Colts didn't make it. Trash. Colts, Carlos Serrano. Yeah, I'm going to have the Spanish.
Calling them by name.
By
the government
pronunciation. Here. Carlos Serrano. Trash. Trash. These Colts. Jaguars, trash as well. I'm almost on my bed. Texans, salute. Respect.
Yeah. So then the other two teams in that division, Buccaneers, Panthers, horrible game. Buccaneers beat the Panthers 9-0, which I'm pleased to see that as well because that's who we're facing in the first round. So for me to see them struggle like that gives me a little hope. You just give me a little bit of hope. All right, next game we had Browns-Bengals 31-14. Not expecting that to happen. I thought it was going to be the other way around. But hey, reality hit for the Browns, even though they are in the playoffs.
Kind of irrelevant game though, right?
Yeah, irrelevant. Yeah. Next game was Vikings-Lions. Vikings really not playing for anything. Lions took care of business, 30-20. Patriots-Jets. This was Belichick's last game of the season actually with the Patriots after 24 years. 17-3. That was a horrible way to go out.
His last game of
his career.
Life.
It won't be.
But it should, man. I don't know if this Patriots way or Belichick way is gonna transfer to the future or other teams.
Well, all I can say is we haven't seen him with a good quarterback yet. Like we've seen him with Cam Newton, but this is way after his prime. And then you see him with Mac Jones, but this is I never thought Mac Jones was all that. I never believed in that guy. So I feel like if he can go to a team like the Chargers, where they already got players like Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, they got weapons over there that he can work with. The Patriots don't have nothing. After all this time having Brady over there, Brady made the players better. They never had really good players other than like Randy Moss and other players here and there. But
okay, two things. I appreciate that you are, being positive and optimistic about him and giving him props because he's one of the best coaches of all times. But a few things. Will you take him to coach the Eagles?
I would.
Good. Now the other thing is,
just because his character, like what he brings is something that could help the culture with the Eagles right now because I don't know. I feel like Sirianni's losing the team because of not being hard enough.
Well, we have to give him a chance until he finishes the season before we really, criticize him. Not criticize him, but judge him.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is with Belichick, you saying that he didn't have a lot of good players. Who picked those players?
I mean, him. That's the other problem.
Whoa. So that he is part of the problem. And now the other thing is,
but who wants to go play in New England? Like that's not a destination
wouldn't you
where you're
want
like
to play for the best coach? If you have a chance to play with the best coach or top 3 or top 5 or top 10, wouldn't you go to anywhere to play with that coach?
No, because I think the market has something to do with it. Because while the coach can be great, if the coach can't recruit players to come to the organization. Nah, I wouldn't say that because
you don't even have to be great. Look at Tomlin. He's not great. Everybody wants to play for him. Bro,
I don't know, man. Who's signing with the Steelers? Like, who's going crazy to sign? What big names signed with the Steelers?
I mean,
you ain't got none. You took one of our offensive linemen. Like it wasn't like you guys took. Let me see.
But I'm gonna tell you something. If they don't go to the Steelers, It's because the team is trash, not because of Tomlin.
So
supposedly
but
Tomlin
that's
is
the coach,
the
though.
most.
But you're saying that he's a top coach, right? So if you,
No,
if-
people are saying that,
So-
and I don't think that he's great. Like,
so I wouldn't use him as a reference. Give me another coach that you would say that you would go to and you would play for. Because
No,
obviously
I
you're trying to
would've-
say Belichick might be one, right? If he's good.
The other thing that I was gonna say, I know for sure who will hire him if they had a chance.
Who's that?
My cousin Kevin, that he says that Bill Belichick is 60% responsible for the
For all the rings.
the
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
Then and Tom Brady at 40%. So I mean, but we know he loves him, but
Yeah, he just got fired.
at this age, this 2024. Do you think that his philosophy and his ways are gonna transfer to this new generation
I think it
of
will.
coaching and players?
I think it will.
I don't think so.
I think it will. I think that will set the difference. I think when you're a player coach and you're way too friendly with the players and build too much of a friendship with the players, that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing. Because holding players accountable is like I'd rather my players show up to practice and practice hard because they know that if they don't, that you're not gonna play.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's not gonna be like we're gonna get through this. Like no, It's like you either show up, show out, or you're not playing. Like that's just what it is. So I feel like he'll bring that grind and grit to it. But either way, enough about Belichick. We gave him too much time on the show now. Falcons Saints was after that. Neither of them made the playoffs, so that game doesn't matter. Jaguars Titans. We told you guys Jaguars fumbled the ball, fumbled the bag the whole damn year. Started really good and fumbled it. Seahawks.
The Titans beat them. And everybody beat the Titans. They were the last team in that division, and they beat you when you have a chance. When we talk about the games that matter, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me that if you win, you go to the playoffs, back-to-back seasons, right? The Jaguars, back-to-back season. Your quarterback, he's like one of the best prospects in the last 50 years. Come on, if you have a chance to win the division and go to the playoffs, and you lose to the Titans, trash.
Yeah, they're not the only team who fumbled the bag on that. So
Steelers category, which is trash.
Seahawks Cardinals. Seahawks beat them. The game doesn't mean nothing. Neither of them made the playoffs.
Trash.
Bears Packers win. Packers with that win they clinched their spot in the playoffs.
Turn
So
around their season.
they're playing the Cowboys. That's going to be pretty cool to see. We'll talk about that here shortly. Chiefs Chargers 13-12. Ugly ass game, dude. Ugly ass game. Don't get it. The Chiefs just got to reset the whole thing over there. Other than the quarterback and the tight end and their defensive and Chris Jones.
And the coach. So you mean the wide receivers and the tackles? Is that what you're
Damn
saying?
near the whole team. Everybody got to go. Everybody got to go except the coach, the quarterback, the tight end, and the defensive end. All right.
Defensive end. he's a
Raiders,
monster.
Raiders, Broncos. Neither of them made it in the playoffs, so the game's irrelevant. 27-14, Raiders win. Eagles, Giants. Horrible game. Giants hand us another L, but at the same time, the Giants fuck up their draft position because they won this game when they should have just lost this game and helped themselves for the future. I don't get it.
Makes no sense.
But
The Giants are weird.
I don't get it, bro. And Saquon might not even be back
Super
next year.
weird.
There's a lot of shit going on over there. And then the Eagles, obviously, we'll get into that, man.
Wasted Barkley's career, though. They wasted his career for sure.
Yeah, and Eagles wasted his fucking season. That's what I feel like. But we'll get to that in a second. Rams, 49ers, 21-20. Rams do beat the 49ers. And the whole fucking time we lost to the 49ers, all I was saying is if we win out, we can win the number one seed. And we can just win. And they lose to the Rams. And what did they do? The Niners lose to the Rams, but we lost one out of the last 5 games. So we literally fumbled the bag again. Even though we lost to the Niners, we still had another chance to keep the seed, number one seed, and we blew it. So
And another one.
horrible. And both of these teams are in the playoffs, so that's good to see. They might meet again. We got Cowboys, Commanders. Cowboys handed them another loss, of course, 38-10.
Commanders almost trash. I mean, almost dirt tier.
Yeah, and then of course probably the game of the week was the Bills and Dolphins because it was for the division, and of course the Bills came on top. Pause. The Bills definitely not expected. The Bills came out of nowhere. They started off horribly in the season. They kept dropping dumb games. They should have a better record than they have now, but they found a way to come back and win. They found a way to basically come back all season and win the division.
Finish strong
with the last game versus the Dolphins.
That's how you
couldn't have written it any better.
Definitely. Definitely, you got to respect how they attacked the second part of the season, and they definitely finished strong. Allen had a great performances, and the running back is balling. He's still cooking. He had a few drops, but at the end of the day, he's not a wide receiver. He's a running back, and he's been catching the ball and running the ball, and they're looking pretty decent.
Yeah, and that right there wraps up our regular season. So that is done. We're putting it away. It's a brand new season now. This is wild card weekend. We're all 0-0. So anything can happen here. Every team is other than the number one seeds are 4 games away from winning a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So anything can happen.
And everybody
anything can happen.
Everybody is gonna have a chance.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have a chance to talk. Everybody's gonna have a chance to show up and perform. Coaches, players. So this is the time of the year. That's the reason that they have been working all this time. Now it's about showing up.
Execution, yeah.
Showing up. So now he's real.
So Saturday's matchup, we got Browns Texans. Oh man. Another great matchup. I don't know if by looking at these names, what do they have in common? What can you say these two teams have in common?
Well, I don't think that anybody was expecting the Texans to be there. The Browns
either, I don't think.
I mean, the Browns since the beginning of the season, even before I knew, and it was obvious for everybody. A lot of people were saying that their defense was legendary. Basically, they were saying like this defense is nasty, and now everybody can see that because once again, when you lose your starting quarterback, even if your starting quarterback is not like he doesn't have to be top 5, not even top 10, but if you lose your starting quarterback, the chances that you have a decent backup quarterback or third string quarterback that is good enough for to save your season, but then you lose your running back, which is one of your best playmakers, one of the best top 5 running backs in the league, maybe.
Yeah.
How do you lose those 2 players? Those are devastating losses. And you still make the playoffs. That is super impressive. So that tells you, good coaching, great defense, and good chemistry.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but the Browns are like a weird, good, like dangerous team.
Yeah.
I don't even know. And Flacco, really? How do you come back from death and you balling.
He not DeMar Hamlin, bro. He wasn't dead.
Come on, man. But
his career might have been dead. But
bro, I seen him throwing touchdowns. I'm like,
yeah, now he's balling.
What?
But you still didn't point out the thing that they have in common. Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Although Deshaun Watson's not playing, but it's ironic that the Texans are facing the Browns in the wild card weekend,
and he's not even
where
there.
They traded a $250 million quarterback, and he's not even playing.
We talked about.
Ain't that something?
I remember you using the term desperate.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You were desperate, but then.
And now the Texans are actually the 4th seed, and the Browns are the 5th seed. So they traded away their quarterback, and now, or not traded away. He went and signed with the Browns. They let him go because they weren't trying to pay him.
Right.
So, and then now the Texans are actually doing better. They're division winners, and now they're hosting a home game versus the Browns, which Deshaun Watson might be on the sideline watching this.
Super weird situation.
So who you got in this game? What's your score?
I think the Browns are a better team, especially defensively. But I really like what the Texans have going on, and I think that they can get the upset. I mean, not upset because of their ranking, but I'm pretty sure the Browns are going to be favoring this game. I'm going to go with the Texans 28-24.
So 28-24, that's a pretty good close game. I would say I'm taking the Browns because the Browns defense is just way better right now than the Texans. And I feel like they have enough. This is playoffs now. It's a whole different ball game. This is not the regular season. You guys got a rookie starting back there versus a Super Bowl winner and Joe Flacco, who knows what it takes in the playoffs. So I feel like he can lead this team to at least one playoff win, and I think this would be it here. So I'm calling the upset. I'm taking the Browns, and I'm taking the opposite score of 28-24. So basically, same score you got, but I'm picking the Browns.
Cool.
All right, next one we got is Dolphins and Chiefs. We saw these teams play where they went to London, I think, and they played. And Tyreek had a bad game.
Dolphins
they shut him out.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. So Chiefs
It
handled
could have
business.
been worse. I think they beat them by 2 touchdowns, but it didn't look close.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, now that was back in the day when Kelsey was still, loose and he was dominating. But after they started, just shutting him down, nobody else had been able to make plays for them other than Rice from time to time.
Yeah.
So I expect to see the best Chiefs version of the Chiefs from now on. So that's why I'm gonna pick them. But I think it's gonna be a close game, and the Dolphins definitely have a chance because that offense is super explosive.
Yeah.
And I know Hill, he is gonna be turned up for this game against his old team. But I'm still gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with a score of 31-21.
I feel like in this game, Tyreek gets his homecoming. He gets to come back to the Chiefs because he didn't get to play him in the regular season. So now the Chiefs are hosting a home game. So now the Dolphins have to come over to the Chiefs at Arrowhead. So I feel like in this game, Tyreek is actually going to go off because all the emotions, because he didn't get to have it in the game early in the season because they were in London. So I feel like this is going to be an upset, and I'm taking the Dolphins. As far as for the score, I feel like they're just going to win by 3, and I'm gonna pick 21-24. I'm picking Dolphins to win this game by field goal.
What's the score again? I'm sorry.
21-24.
Okay.
Dolphins.
So you think Chiefs are not gonna be able to get some production?
Nah, I think this is gonna be another game where you're like, oh man, if this wide receiver would have just caught the ball down the field, wide open, would have scored.
First game of the playoffs, we're gonna see this.
Of course, they've been doing it all season.
Okay,
they've been doing it. They've been driving balls all season.
I'm gonna tell you what I think is gonna happen. And maybe it's not gonna be this game, but it should be this game. That the Chiefs defense starts sending them hitters. You hit them up, like Tupac said. You gotta hit them up.
Yeah.
You gotta hit them up early and often. You gotta go for the quarterback, and then you gotta press Hill, and then hit him. Hit him. If he goes to the middle, hit him. If he's on the sideline, hit him. If you start hitting him, because that's the only way you can stop them.
Well, the thing about the in order for you to hit him, he has to be in the pocket and he has to be waiting to try to throw the ball, right? When you're running the ball or you're getting the ball out with quick passes with screens, there's no pressure because you're not getting to that quarterback when it's hut. Gone.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like he literally throws that ball in like 2 seconds, maybe not even 2 seconds, with screen passes and things to Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
And what I'm saying,
he can break off for 80 yards.
I know what you're saying. You're right. But what I'm saying is this: if you send 8, if you send 9,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
That's risky, bro.
That's what I'm.
That's risky.
That's what I'm saying.
You're giving up the big play with Tyreek. You got Tyreek Hill on the other side. You're gonna blitz like that.
What I'm saying is like you gotta take chances. You got to take chances. And if you are able to take these 2 players out of the game, and I'm not saying hurting them, but if you can shut them down, it's over. Because nobody else is going to show up. Yeah. They don't have nobody to show up. They don't have nobody who's any leader that is going to take control or take over.
To me,
game.
I feel like this is going to be one of those games where they're gonna pound the rock. It's the playoffs, so in the playoffs people switch it up. So they're gonna pound it. So you're not gonna be able to pressure the quarterback. And if you do, that's gonna open up the play action pass, and that's gonna give. I don't know. I feel like if the Chiefs play that aggressive, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna work against them, in my opinion. But I got 24-21 Dolphins. What was your score?
31-21.
Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't think the Chiefs scored 30 points in that game, bro. I'll be honest.
We're gonna have to bet some. It's about time we do this betting though, cause.
All right, one game we can bet on: Steelers Bills. Bills hosting a playoff game. Did you know it's supposed to be 45-mile-an-hour gust winds They're not throwing that ball. You know what 45 miles an hour gust winds are? You're not throwing that football.
Really?
Yeah, that you're going to get that ball picked off every time. So I feel like this game, and it's going to be, I think, snowing.
45 is crazy, though.
Yeah, it's going to be snowing too. So it's a horrible weather game. So I think this game is where they're going to, both 1,000-yard receivers rushers are going to be, they're going to put the weight on their shoulders. I think Cook and I think Harris are going to be carrying the weight on this game. So obviously, I know you got the Steelers, or do you?
Who do you got?
All right, that's your team. How you going to try to? All right, I'll pick first. I'll let you think about it.
No, I don't have to think about it.
I'll be honest.
I've been knowing.
With Watt out, I'm taking the Bills because I think offensively, if you guys can't stop them, you guys cannot keep up with them scoring. So if the Bills putting up 30, you guys are not putting up 30. I don't know how many. I don't think you guys put up 30
ever.
I couldn't even count how many times this season you guys put up 30. Maybe once or twice. I could be wrong though. You know, you guys can fact check me, but I got the Bills just because at this point they're hot and you guys lost a huge part to that defense that you need to stop him from losing. What up, G? You can pop in here if you need to.
What up? If it was not the Steelers, I would have picked the Bills to lose.
Yeah.
Because I don't expect Josh Allen to show up when it really matters. You know what I'm saying? But this is not that game.
Yeah.
So I think that the Bills are gonna win this game. Watt out is you cannot recover from that. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the Steelers especially are not the type of team that I feel like when Fitzpatrick went down, they crumble. Watt out, that's devastating. So I have the Bills winning. I'm gonna say 21-13.
Yeah, I'm probably taking a 28-17 Bills win by 11. Yeah. I feel like the fact that you guys lost that defensive piece, you guys can't contain it, and that's going to be a problem, big time. I hope it's not a huge blowout. I hope it's a competitive game for the sake of, for us to watch it and enjoy it too. But at the end of the day, it's going to be horrible weather. It's the Bills. You guys lost a defensive player, and it's not looking good. But we'll see. This will be a perfect upset, Can you imagine? Can you imagine the Steelers taking out the Bills after all the shit?
The thing is, like, it can happen.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The weather is going to be a factor,
No
too. And we talked about, at some point when we were a little bit optimistic about the Steelers, we mentioned that having those two running backs, playoff time, when it gets cold and nasty, you're going to benefit from having those running backs. But I see so many things bad and wrong around. The only good thing that happened is since Casey has been out, you guys know what happened. He was out. Things change.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything, but
you already did. You're not gonna say anything, but you really said it all right there. No, he's out.
It's not personal.
He was producing a lot of negative plays for you guys, and he was playing hard, but a little too hard. I was watching the worst hits this year, and like flags where they got called flags. Mm-hmm. I seen that man. He had on like at least 5 or 6 of those plays were all him.
It was not just that one that he almost killed somebody. It was not the last one.
Doing it all season.
But here's the thing: when I'm talking about how he was messing up, I'm not talking about any of those plays. I'm not talking about those which are, of course, are detrimental to the team and
in the game, cost you.
It's penalties and bad games, but I'm still not even talking about those games. I'm talking about the trash ass plays. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to get a good angle, not being able to, recognize,
be productive,
bro, missing tackles, everything. You know what I'm saying? Dropping interceptions. That's what I'm talking about. Not those plays that they were dirty or questionable or illegal. Yeah. I'm not talking about those plays. I'm talking about everything else that it was trash. Yeah. So he's not there. Things change. So good for them. Hopefully we learn. Hopefully we learn.
Yeah. We'll see, man. Again, we'll see what happens. I'm pulling for you guys. Obviously, I'm picking the Bills, but I'm pulling for the Steelers.
That
So
sounds fake as hell, but you know what I'm saying. You trying to, you know they're gonna lose, so you got to pick the Bills. Because you're like, yo, I'm not gonna pick.
But I would
Steelers.
love to. I would love to see them win. But
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to see the Steelers wins. Next game we got Rams Lions. Another great game. You got.
I know.
You got the two quarterbacks that were traded for each other. Boom. Wild
Crazy,
card.
huh?
Yep. Another one of those games. Who do you got?
So it will be this is a perfect story though for the Lions. Lions have been trashed for the last 100 years, and they finally look like a decent team. And now they face the Rams with their ex-quarterback
Who just beat the San Francisco?
just beat San Francisco, and who just got a ring
A couple years ago, yeah.
once he
They traded
changed
quarterbacks
teams.
in the first year. Just
So-
yep.
I feel like the Lions have a lot to play for. I'm still picking the Rams. I'm going with experience, which I value a lot, and not just only experience, but not trusting the Lions at all for multiple reasons, especially for they have been trashed for the last 150 years.
Yeah. What's the score you got? What you got for that?
I have 2014. I'm gonna say 2017.
All right,
Rams.
I'm also picking the upset. I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the experience as well. The Lions are playing great, but I feel like this is the hump that they need to get over. So we'll see if they can get over it or not. But at the moment, I'm taking the Rams based on their experience, and you know they've won it already. They've been to the big game, so they know what it takes.
It's a good story.
Yeah,
it's good for. I guess it's good for the NFL that the Lions win the division, right? And then they're in the playoffs, right? And the Pistons suck. Like they dirt.
Yeah.
So at least the Lions, Detroit got
on,
something going on.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that they always sometimes have problems with water and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, Flint, Michigan. Yeah, no, that's true.
Prayers up. So at least something's going on. Yeah, that's unacceptable, bro.
Yeah.
Messing up with the water. So I don't know why I thought about that, but
that was a random ass thought. But yeah, just like that game, this is a random ass game. Not one of the ones I'm looking forward to watch. But hey, I'm picking the Rams, and I'm taking.
Can't wait.
I'm taking a 21.
Can't wait.
21-20 game. 1 point win for the Rams.
Okay.
All right, we got 2 games left. Packers, Cowboys. This game could be an upset. Jordan Love, they won 7 of the last 8, I think. He's only thrown 2 picks and 19 touchdowns in that stretch. So he's playing really good right now, and he's won the games that he needed to win to make the playoffs. So they are here now at this point. So this could be the upset game. It could not. But as you know, I'm picking the Packers. Picking the Packers over the Cowboys. Very close game, winning by a field goal. I'm taking 24-21 Packers.
You always love the Packers the whole season.
Yeah,
so I understand why
I'm
you
a
picked
huge
the
Packers.
Cowboys.
I'm a huge Packers fan. Yeah,
I remember that you saying
Yes,
something
sir.
about cheese and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys. Packers, Packers they lost to the Steelers, so that just that says a lot.
Cowboys lost to Arizona.
Unless it's a division game, those are the only one that I will understand losing to the Steelers. But if the Steelers are not in your division, you cannot lose to them because they trash. The Packers did, and a few other things that I saw throughout the season that I learned that they were not a good team, not yet. So I'm picking the Cowboys, who are more talented, and they should not have a problem facing this inferior team.
We will see. So I got Packers, you got Cowboys. What was your score?
35-20.
Sheesh.
35-20.
All right, that's a blowout. Technically, that's a 15-point win. All right, last game. Eagles Buccaneers. Eagles fumbled the bag. We had the number 1 seed all year. We could have had the first week bye and then played in the divisional, but obviously we choked. We lost, everything we had. We looked like a horrible team. We went from the best team in the league to the worst team in the league. Very disappointing. A lot of high hopes this season, and I feel like we did all this for, and it all comes down to this game here. As bad as it's been the last couple of weeks, we can win this game and change things around, or we can play how we've been playing and look bad and just lose this game, and a lot of people are going to get fired. That's all I got to say. But obviously I'm picking my Eagles to win. I'm picking us to turn this shit around. I think our players are going to play a lot differently. It's the playoffs now. I'm taking the Eagles winning. I'm taking the 38-10. 38-10, win by 28 points. I think this has to happen. If it doesn't happen this way, we might as well just lose this game and just save our chances. Because if we have to play San Fran next round or one of those other top seeds, then we're gonna have an issue. But we'll see. I'm taking Eagles versus Bucks, 38-10. What do you got?
So we know that NFC South is trash, almost dirt division.
Yeah.
Bucks, don't expect a lot from them. I don't think anybody did. The Eagles, I know they've been in a slump, but I don't expect for them to have any problems taking care of the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are not what they used to be, of course, and first they don't have the quarterback that I think that is going to be able to make winning plays for them. I think that it's going to be easier for the Eagles to get him out of the game or control him better than the Buccaneers controlling Hurts. So I think that's going to be the main reason. The other thing is I think the Eagles are getting healthy little by little, even though you don't see it on the field. And this is what they have been waiting for.
Yeah, this is it. This is what I feel like we all season. We knew we were a good team. We know we can win it all, but it felt like, when you procrastinate and you wait all last minute to do stuff because you had all this time and all. That's what I feel like is happening. And as much as the storyline could be completely false, I'd rather believe that and hope that we can win this game. And if we lose, then I'll know that I was completely wrong. But at this point, I'm gonna be hopeful and optimistic.
But the past doesn't matter. So
the momentum does.
So what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do now? You can start now.
We could have started after the San Francisco game. We could have started after the Dallas game. We could have started after the Seahawks game. We could have started after the Cardinals game. We could have started changing things around after all those losses, and we didn't change nothing.
Some teams never started anything.
Yeah.
Some teams are done. So just the fact that you're here, you know what I'm saying? You still have a chance.
Yeah.
Because what's the other team that you feel like, oh my God, so much momentum, they look like they are unstoppable?
Right now, the Cowboys are on that flow. I would say
the Cowboys,
and I didn't even pick them to win, but I would say the Cowboys are on that streak right now. I would say
who? Tell me the winning.
And the other two teams aren't playing this week.
Tell me the winning team that the Cowboys beat this season.
Who was it?
Nobody. Who is a contender?
Excuse me. Yes, they did. They beat the Dolphins, I think. Didn't they beat the Dolphins by one? Wasn't that game where they beat the Lions?
The Dolphins beat them.
Yeah, they beat the Lions.
Beat the Cowboys.
They beat the Lions. Sorry.
The Lions.
They're top. They're number 2 seed or number 3 seed.
So the team that you will be scared of because they have momentum, their biggest win was against the Lions. Oh yeah, I'm gonna crown them. So what other team do you feel like they have momentum?
And I just feel like they've been playing. They've been playing well. So
that I fear, that you can fear. The only team will be the 49ers because they consistently
whoop teams.
For me, they were always top 3. Consistently, even when they lost games, they were consistently top 3. So that's the team. And then they finished pretty strong. Even though they lost a few games at the end, they finished. They had a slump, kind of like the first quarter or the second quarter of the season, but then they finished strong. So that's the only team that I will say like, okay, but other than the 49ers and the Ravens, there's no other team that I'd be like, oh, they have momentum and they're a threat. None of these teams. I think it's always been a three-headed race. Yeah. I always say this. So it hasn't changed. I feel like the Eagles, they honestly are too stacked and they have no excuse. It's on the coaches and it's on the players. I know a lot of people is complaining about the coordinators. Well, that's also a fault of the head coach. And but they have a chance to change things.
Just like every team has a chance, but
No, not every team.
Every
the
team.
Patriots don't.
No, every team that made the playoffs.
Bears. Oh, okay, but you said everything. So let's
Well,
the Giants.
I don't feel like we're talking about any team.
No, but I just want to say that.
You just want to talk. You just want to call out the teams that've been eliminated so far. That's what it is.
So if you don't beat the Buccaneers, you should put everything on the trash.
Yeah, at that point we need to fire some people. Man.
Everybody.
But, of course, we're gonna pull for the Eagles to win.
What's your score? You said?
I said 38-10.
I'm gonna go 30-17.
30-17. Yeah, so that means our offense needs to put up 30, which I believe we can, and our defense needs to just be a good defense, or not even just good. You need to be an okay defense. An okay defense, we can win some games. We can't win games with the defense we've had, but
can't wait.
Enough bashing my team, man. Hopefully we're able to get on and go play by play with one of these games. That'd be great. We won't make no commitments, but we're definitely gonna try to make that happen. And of course, we will definitely be back next week for our divisional matchups. Hopefully, our teams are still standing. We'll have half the teams that we had now, and it's going to be very exciting to be talking about what's going on next week. Hopefully, again, like I said, our team is still in it. Because if not, it's going to be very, very hard to sit here and do a damn podcast when we call the Steagles and neither of our teams are in this conversation. But that's football because we also talk all NFL.
But they still here. Yeah. So the fact that they both make the playoffs is something to celebrate. We expected
celebrating making the playoffs.
We expected
Super Bowl. You can celebrate.
We expected the Eagles to make it to the playoffs.
We expect them to get to the Super Bowl.
But we didn't expect the Steelers to make it to the playoffs. So that's what I'm saying. And when I say celebrate, I'm talking about the podcast, not the whack ass team.
You gotta clarify. You gotta clarify.
Come on, man. I celebrate because they made the playoffs. That means nothing. That means nothing. Trash. You're still trash. And dirt. It doesn't mean the only thing that making the playoffs means that you're not dirt. You're still trash.
Yeah.
Some of these teams are trash. You're gonna see it.
Yeah.
You guys are about to find out. The Steelers is one of them. They might play like them. They might, lie to you.
They might win.
They might lie to you. But they are trash.
With that being said, guys, we're gonna wrap up here. A lot of good stuff going on. Again, we're pulling for our teams. And as always, you guys know what time it is. This is the Steagles Podcast where we talk
all Steelers,
all Eagles, all NFL. Good luck, everybody. It's going to be a hell of a weekend, man. Wild card weekend. See y'all next week. Let's go, baby.